This fall has been filled with all sorts of projects, from the overwhelming task of cleaning up all the big and little pieces and decorations from our wedding, to tending to the last of our garden for the season and being behind on a lot of projects from the summer. We've had busy days and constant things to do, not to mention there's a lot to do to prepare the homestead for the winter and next spring. After going on a cross-country road trip for our honeymoon, we returned with a new perspective that came while we watched the gorgeous scenery of rural America pass by at 60 miles an hour. We were so inspired by so many places that we saw, both new and familiar to us. But the ones that blew us away the most were surprisingly the ones that aren't often talked about. While we did visit breathtaking mountaintops in Colorado, the moments where I felt most in awe were watching the clouds pass over peaceful farmlands, or driving through small towns I had never even heard of and feeling a strange softness in my chest as I wondered about the people who live there. What is their life like? I felt this deep, heartfelt camaraderie with all the wonderful people we met along the way, both near and far. It unlocked a new level of love for my country, and we returned feeling fuller, more in love, and more grateful than ever. It also made me realize just how much I've changed. When I was little, all I wanted was to live in New York City, surrounded by big skyscrapers and glamour. But life has slowly unfolded in a way that brought me closer and closer to nature. In the past few years, I found myself craving a peaceful rural life more than anything else. And sometimes I'm still learning what living that actually looks and feels like. Since returning from our honeymoon, our life has been filled with all sorts of projects, one of which was making new cabinets for our kitchen in order to install a vent fan, which was a surprisingly nerve-wracking DIY project. I'll spare you the details and the image of my husband holding up an entire cabinet on his head, but the most exciting thing to me that we've been doing has been pressing fresh apples and grapes from this year's harvest. We were grateful that a friend of ours gave us several 5-gallon buckets of apples from their trees, so we made enough apple cider to last us for a long while.
All right, stop there.
Yeah, perfect. Right there. And then keep squeezing that down.
Perfect.
That's about as far as I can go. And our grapes. I was not expecting such an abundant harvest this year. They were overflowing on the vines. Other than eating them fresh, I wasn't quite sure how to preserve them at first, but I learned that they freeze beautifully and make the perfect smoothie ingredient, so that's what most of them will become. And I think I'm also going to make some grape jelly, so stay tuned for that. Something I'm really learning this fall is to have more confidence in my abilities. There are so many projects and crafts that I've always wanted to embark on, but I haven't because I've always compared to myself to the experts or the YouTubers, or I just felt downright inadequate. I'm learning to love the process of learning new things, even if at first they feel impossible. It's interesting how far off I've been at times about my abilities. Things that I've put off for literal years because I thought I couldn't do it have surprisingly proved to come so easily and naturally to me, to the point that I actually felt silly for chalking them up to be some monstrous project. I know there's always going to be more for me to learn, but I'm getting better at seeing the process as something that can be enjoyed, not just trying to jump ahead to already having it all figured out. This mindset shift is bringing me a lot of courage lately.
Not what I meant to do.
Oh!
What?
I started the video just in time to see the branch fall on you.
I'm just gonna cut this down.
Yeah.
Another big project we've undertaken this fall is making a silvopasture. A silvopasture is essentially a mixture of trees and pasture where animals can graze, and the soil is improved by that too. It is a method of regenerative agriculture that suits both our local environment and what we're interested in growing and producing. The animals help build the soil while the ground cover provides diverse food for them. Sometimes I hate the feeling of cutting down all these trees, but when I remember that there is a purpose behind it, my mind is put at ease. Sometimes it's really hard to trust the present when the future isn't clear yet. After a few days of chainsawing and cutting down a lot of trees, I looked into the forest and my heart sunk. I felt like I had just decimated it with my own 2 hands. It didn't look like how it used to. But I'm learning to trust the process and take every step as a moment to observe and grow and try something new. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I really hope you'll stick around. Stay tuned for more videos soon. I hope that you have a great day or night, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.